Hello, I'm Dr. Dawn C. Kahrs, Graceful Waves Chiropractic, practicing in Wheeler, Oregon. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the distinctions of what I do in my office. I practice something called reorganizational healing, which is really different type of care than what most chiropractors practice. It's really based more about teaching the body strategies to learn to respond to stress differently. So it's also about reorganizing tension and ease, redirecting it into other places, thereby creating greater ease, greater peace, and greater resourcefulness in the middle of when we need that energy. There's a few different phases of care that we work in. The beginning phase is really more about establishing ease. It's about working toward getting a full breath that goes up and down the spine. It's also about developing the ability or the greater ability to have the brain find if and where there's tension and how to reorganize it, how to bring ease to that area. So the beginning part of care is also called discover care, and it's really discovering new places, discovering how to bring breath and awareness to the body. In that care, it's really geared toward connecting and releasing tension. That's kind of our goal. Full breath, connect and release, and just establishing, I talk about inserting a steam valve onto a steaming kettle. Many people come into my office and on the inside they're kind of like this. And so we want to help bring more ease. So that first 15 visits is about bringing more ease. Then we look at the season of transform, or rather really taking the longer term tension patterns that are stored in the body, many times 20, 30, 40 years worth of stresses upon stresses, and we're going to take those stresses and reorganize them. Use them, as one of my colleagues says, as fuel for growth. Redirect them so that you have that available energy instead of the energy being bound up in the muscles, being bound up in the posture. So level 2 of care is very much about action. It's about changing, taking action. So in the care in my office, I'll have people really stretching their spine, stretching certain areas, both in flexion extension, which is this direction, and in lateral bending, developing greater resources in every direction in their spine, which translates into life, really. In the middle part of level 2 of care, we develop greater coordination between different regions of the spine. So in the neck, it may be an area about C5 on 6, and then C5 on 4 on the left. So kind of like this, developing a figure 8 oscillation and coordination between these different parts of the spine. We'll also work on finding areas, as a demonstration will show, redirecting, longer term stored tension, redirecting it up the spine into where the body can use it and reorganize around it. Level 3 of care, which is called Awaken, it's a season of Awaken, is something very different. In level 1 and level 2, we're kind of cleaning the screen, if you will. Like, let's say we have a dirty screen, we clean it all up. We're cleaning that filter of the past stuff that's been stored in the spine. In level 3 of care, we're pretty much starting from the now and moving forward. So we're not fixing stuff in the past. We're really developing something new. So level 3 is a whole nother ball game. It's really more about coming into the present moment. So I mentioned in level 1 and level 2, we're kind of cleaning the filter, cleaning the screen. We're developing some new things. We're cleaning up the past that's stored in the spine. Also in level 1, I'll just mention, we develop something called a respiratory wave. It's a gentle rocking wave that goes up and down the spine, rocks each and every vertebra through their range of motion, flushing out the toxins, bringing in the nutrients. That's really how the discs, stay healthy, is through movement. Now in level 2 of care, that respiratory wave changes. Well, it's also actually a respiratory wave plus we get what's called a somatopsychic wave. That wave is more of a wave that involves the structure of the muscles, and it moves up and down the spine and also back and forth between different areas of the spine. So in level 2, again, we're developing greater coordination. We're also developing the second wave. In the third level of care, that wave that's been developed in the spine starts to move from the spine forward through the front part of the body and through the heart area. There's a lot of research that shows that the heart is actually the most advanced neurological structure, even more so than the brain. In fact, there's some studies done in NASA where when people would walk into the room, all the instruments would be thrown off. And that's because the heart's electromagnetic force is thrown outside the body about 16 feet, and it's measured on instruments. So people were walking into this room in NASA, and the instruments were being thrown off, and they decided to measure, why is that? So they found that the heart's electromagnetic frequency was being thrown around the body about 16 feet. So what we're doing in the third level of care is we're working more directly with the heart and the heart's physiology and destabilizing the armoring that many of us carry around the heart, and we carry it, here in our thoracic area. So we're bringing that somatopsychic wave forward into the heart so that we can really truly feel all the joy, all the bliss, maybe some of the heartache too, but maybe only for a moment, so we have a more fuller spectrum of living. And that's something I'll mention also about the third part of Kahrs is really that as we feel more and we feel more in our heart, we can also feel more of a connection between ourselves and other people. So it becomes more difficult to, do anything to other people that isn't that we wouldn't want done to ourselves, because we feel our humanity, we feel our connection. So I've talked a little bit about the beginning part of care, discover, the middle part of care, transform, the third part of care, if you will, which is awaken. There's a fourth aspect of care, which is really the season. It's called the season of integrate. So it's really integrating between the different levels of care. So sometimes we might need to discover something new and apply it in transform, or take an action step to shift something or to do something different to get the results that we want. So that also takes place in the care as well. It's not a totally linear model where there's a total endpoint, if you will, but the care is definitely designed to assist you at whatever stage or season of life that you're in at the time. I've enjoyed speaking with you today and sharing a little bit about the 4 seasons of healing and also the different levels of network spinal analysis care. For more information, you can visit my website, www.gracefulwaveschiropractic.com. Thank you so much, and you can also call my office, which is 503-368-WELL, which is 9355. Thanks so much. Have a great day.